Damn thing keeps getting cut off. I hate that you guys have to watch two videos. It's so annoying. You get so into the first video vlogging, and I gotta put up the second video, and I don't want to redo a whole new video because I'd have to go through my same emotions as I was recapping and reviewing. Okay, second video, part 2, continuation. Hopefully this will be short because the other one's already 15 minutes. Yeah, like I was saying, I'm so I feel like some scenes are so predictable, and I honestly thought, for a moment, I forgot they were actually in a whole different city or a whole different state. Because I'm like, oh, watch Molly run into Jared, Enterprise guy, in the damn club. But that didn't happen. Yeah, so she's dancing with this young boy. And then eventually, I guess her and Kelly was like, we said it. Or, wait, what was the phrase again? I already forgot the phrase. We said or whatever. So they decided to both leave with guys. Kelly had another young guy, whatever. It was funny because the guy was like, oh, you look like Jill Scott. And she was like, oh, you look like, guy from Twilight. That was funny. It was cute. Kelly is really funny. But she just says everything and anything that's in her mind or whatever. So, yeah, so Molly ends up taking the guy to her room. Kelly ends up taking the guy to her room, whatever. But they don't show Kelly scene. They actually show Molly scene with the dude. And the dude is just like, oh, you want me to turn on some music or something? She was like, shut up. And she started taking off her clothes like, let's just get straight to it. I'm drunk. I want that drunk sex. Let's just go. She was on top of him and just straight slipped. I'm like, I tweeted, yo, she ain't asked him for no condom on. I hope the next scene or next two scenes, we're not going to find out that Molly ends up pregnant. Because it'd be those type of one-night stands, drunk, completely not focused into the situation where you make that one stupid mistake, no matter how fun you think it is, and you end up with some serious repercussions. So there was definitely a no condom moment right there. So next morning, we see Kelly ends up coming down, and Issa was trying to be non-judgmental, but she was like, oh, so you guys really went in last night with them dudes or whatever. And Kelly's just like, please, yeah, I thought I was, but, I ended up by myself. I mean, I bought him mad drinks. And she was like, men ain't shit. Like, basically vice versa. When guys think by buying girls a whole bunch of drinks, they're going to get some, and then feel played out when a girl just leaves. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's probably why they keep doing it. But now it's the reverse. The woman's doing it, and he was corny anyway. But, yeah, so Kelly ends up asking, like, what's going on with you? What's going on with Lawrence? She made a comment about Lawrence. And, of course, again, Issa's still trying to, distract and derail from that Lawrence topic. She doesn't want to talk about it with them because they don't know everything. So she'd have to recap the whole situation, get in the same, guilty and upset of emotions that she didn't want to be in. So she starts telling her what's going on. But, of course, Kelly, who likes to run off at the mouth and make jokes. I mean, she was kind of serious, but also just jump into conclusions or whatever. She was like, oh, did he hit you? Oh, are you pregnant or whatever? And she's like, no. And just when you're trying to talk to someone and you're really upset, you really just want an ear to listen so you can just get through the story. When somebody constantly just interjects and interrupts with their own conclusions or guesses of what they think is going to happen, it just really discourages you from even telling your side of the story. So I get that. I definitely would have had that same reaction that Issa had. Well, I'm just, forget it. I'm not even going to tell you no more because you're not in this. If we're talking, listen. I'm talking, you listen. Like, and then you can find out what's going on and then give your opinion. But how are you going to know what's going on if you're not listening? Like, you can show you're a ride-or-die girl, but you still got to be a ride-or-die listener, too, before you jump in and say some crazy mess. So, I get it. I would have just been like, you know what? I don't even want to talk about this no more. So, she didn't end up telling her what happened. Okay, now they're at the pool, and, basically, sipping a little wine or whatever, and then they're talking about what they're supposed to be doing or whatever. All of a sudden, lead it to, Kelly and the other bougie girl was just like, okay, what is going on between you? Because they finally saw the tension between Issa and Molly. But that's how it started. It started off with it was just trying to dissect what was going on between Issa and Molly, but then it just turned to Molly. Well, Molly was, again, I told you she was throwing little shots, like throwing words of stuff that happened in the last episode through the argument. And she was like, well, this is Molly, this is the new me, I do what I want, I give a fuck, what everybody thinks, because it was bringing up the guy that she slept with or whatever. And, this part was heart-wrenching because Kelly and the other girls looked at each other like, but you always do that. Say no, but now I'm acknowledging it that I do that, and I'm not gonna be what everybody else think I am. And they're like, okay, like Cause oh, I think I get it. And the bougie girl's like, no, she's trying to say like, you know, she's gonna fuck whoever, she's gonna sabotage her relationships or whatever. But now she acknowledges that she does that and will still do it anyway. That's what she's trying to say. So they laughing at her or whatever. And as they're talking, Molly's just like, it's dawning on her that even though they're, you know, not fully sober and, you know, drunk mind is spills a sober heart, whatever, they're saying the same things in joking matter, but they're saying the same things that Issa was just arguing with her about in other episode, how Molly sabotages her own relationships. Like when it is a good guy, she finds something wrong with him. When it's the wrong guy, she's trying to move forward with them. And then either way, both are epic failures at the end when she still ends up single. And they're just like, so it sucks when one person, it's like, it represents real life. When one person tells you one thing about you, you're going to get defensive. Like, no, you just don't know who I am or whatever, da, 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 da. But when it's a second person, a third person, a fourth person, a big population of people finally tell you about yourself and they're all saying the same thing, then it has to click on you like, damn, okay. If everyone is getting that outside perspective about me, then okay, maybe something I ain't do to her. Because when it's one person, you're like, whatever, that's your opinion of how I'm registering to you. That's your mindset. But when it's like 5, 6, 7 people, now they're all saying the same thing, and this is your clique of people, then you're like it's messed up because you're like, okay, why didn't you tell me this before? And it's also messed up that you're all bombarding me and telling me this, whatever. But again, the Kelly and the bougie girl was saying it in fun or whatever. You know, they were being truthful, but, you know, they figure they're all girls or whatever. They're just saying it for fun. But again, because Issa was just telling her that, now she sees like, oh crap, you know. So Issa, seeing her best friend in need, and because she's the awkward girl, because she can separate her upsetness, but I can see the bigger picture, this is my friend, she just went off and went by her side and defended her. She was like, Kelly, you know, you don't even watch what you say or whatever. You know, you're a big mouth or whatever. I don't think you even listen to what you speak about or whatever. And then she went off on the bougie girl. She was like, you always trying to read somebody and tell them about their life or whatever, but you can't even, you know, take a shit or whatever without asking your boyfriend or whatever. Basically saying y'all two have your own issues, but y'all trying to read somebody else. We all have issues. We should be still allowed to read each other though, because where I fault at, you might be great at. So you help me with that. Where you fault at in that area, I might be great and I help you with that. So it's still good to have a clique or close people that y'all all going to be different. Y'all all acknowledge that y'all all have issues or whatever. But whatever the other one has an issue with, then the other one will help each other like that. So it just sucks at what point the situations occurs when you finally are honest with the person. Sometimes it goes too far and you end up just blowing up, as opposed to, you know, every little thing that happens, you speak about it, resolve it, and move on, as opposed to just throwing it under the rug until it blows up and then you just say everything. You're like, damn, bitch, like, where did this come from? So eventually, while they're in the pool, Lawrence calls her. Okay, now we're going to go to Lawrence's store. Lawrence calls her to say what's up. Now, mind you, Lawrence is in in a strip club. Okay, because before that, Lawrence been staying with his boy or whatever. You know, they're talking, and the boy's like, oh, you sure you guys are over or whatever? And Lawrence was like, you know, she messed with somebody. He's like, what if you was in that situation? If your girl's messing with somebody, you know, would you take her back? And he was like, hell fuck no. He was like, one time I punched a dude for just talking to her or whatever. He said, but I'm like that. Like, I have a temper like that. He was like, you're an R&B singing type of dude with all your emotions and shit. You know, but I love you. I love you for that. Basically saying the complete opposite. He liked to get to his emotions. That's probably why there was an episode before that when he first was down and out and trying to find a job and everything, and he was trying to talk to his boy, whatever. But his boy, again, is not connected with his emotions. He tried to rush off the phone and say he was too busy. He was just basically ignoring him. But they're still boys. So Lawrence is like, no, fuck that. Let's, you know, call this person, that person, whatever. Let's go get some drinks. Let's go out or whatever. They're trying to distract himself. So while at the strip club, you know, guys do the same thing girls do. They don't talk about their emotions, but they do talk about their girls. They talk about women, talk about pussy and all that stuff while they're in the strip club. Just like in real life, they always choosing the strip club to be the spot where they are maybe, it's like they're trying to do a balance. They're talking about their emotions and the environment got to be manly. So obviously we're going to talk about some deep shit. We need to be around something that'll balance that deep shit out. So let's be at the strip club, shaking, you know, popping ass and throwing dollars, and then talk about, man, this chick hurt my heart. While you're looking at a girl shaking their ass. Such an oxymoron. But yeah, there was even a scene where the girl's like, you know, doing her popping little her thing or whatever. And the dude, he was saying, yeah, you know, this and that. And my girl does it. And he looked over like, damn, her pussy fat. I died. I'm like, it just shows how distracted men can get so quickly. So quickly. So the girl, that the dancer girl, whatever, she was kind of like flirting with Lawrence a little bit or whatever. And so while they're eyeing each other, she got off the stage and he's whispering to her. So I guess they go to the champagne room. So they all saluting him like, hey, whatever. He ends up going, but they both were like, he ain't gonna do nothing. Because he's a good guy. At the end of the day, no matter how upset he is, he's supposedly the good guy. And they all see that in him. So they know nothing's really gonna go down in the champagne room. While they're in there, she's doing her thing, trying to make her money, whatever. A security guard there. So basically, he wanted to get some. Like, I think half of him wanted to take revenge with Issa, but also just to I guess make it even and just whatever. But I know she was still on his mind. So, so I guess she ended up opening his pants and seeing his package or whatever, which you can tell by his physique that he's, well endowed. And she's like, oh, I could work with this, whatever. He's like, yeah, how much you work? She's like, oh, I could really work with it. It depends. So she started charging him. She was like, oh, the suck your dick is $200. And in real life, that's how stripper clubs are, which you're not supposed to be having sex in there, but these people do that. She's like, and $400 is for sex. So he looked at her like he was about, he probably, because he's a good guy, he's thinking, oh, we just have chemistry, she'll just give it up to me. I don't have to pay for nothing. But, she got bills. She still got to do what she got to do. So I guess to stop the moment, he ended up calling Issa while Issa was in the pool with the girls. And they're talking, whatever. It was a lot of gaps, a lot of no words, just silence or whatever. But I get it, because you're reaching out to someone that you've been avoiding. You just curse him out, say, don't fucking call me no more. And you call them. It's like, you really don't know. You want to speak, but you don't know what to say. So you kind of want that gap of silence to speak for you. So she's like, he's like, I miss you. Those I miss you words can really go a long way. She's like, I miss you too. And she's like, well, I'm going for the weekend. If you want to go, to the house and stay or whatever, if you don't want to stay at your boy's house anymore. He's yeah, I guess I could do that or whatever. And so it ended up being when he was going to go back to the house. So Issa decides she's going to leave. So she's trying to get a ride. Of course, Kelly's drunk. The bougie girl's drunk. Molly's like, she's sipping, but she wasn't drunk. But she turned over like, I'm not about to help you, bitch. Like, you've been trying to play me this whole time. Even though, yeah, you helped me out a little bit right there when you got my back. But, I'm still mad with you. We still have issues. So she's like, whatever, I figured out myself. Goes to her room, start packing. I guess she tries to call for a cab or whatever. It was like only 40 minutes. She really wanted to get home and talk to her man and get her man back. She was excited to get her man back. So I knew Molly was going to come in there. If you're really, really good friends, if you're best friends, like true ride or die down best friends, always been there for each other, good and bad, through pretty and ugly or whatever. Even if y'all have an issue, if something's really going on with my best friend, my best friend, I'm going to put my feelings aside because we will eventually talk about it and resolve it. But we're going to handle this shit right now. All right? And she needed a ride to go get her man. So Molly came in there and was like, let's go, bitch. Oh, let's go. So they in a car and Molly's like, oh, why don't you practice on me? What you going to say to him or whatever. So Issa started talking and Molly's like, fuck you, bitch. Which that could be a reaction. So you got to be prepared for that type of reaction. You got to be prepared for both reactions. The sympathetic reaction and the reaction where maybe he don't be sympathetic and just goes off on you. So she was like, and she's like, well, I'm just making sure you're awake. So that part was funny. Kind of broke the ice or whatever. So they eventually, during that time, the car ride, they made up or whatever. And, they're cool. So, Lawrence, they show Lawrence goes to the house. Okay, he's looking around. The house was clean. She cleaned up. Put the keys down. At that moment, his face looked like, I'm so good to be home or whatever. I'm ready to talk about this or whatever. So when Molly drops her off, she goes to the house, opens the door. She sees his keys. Oh my God, it was so dramatic. She sees the keys on the counter. She's like, okay, my man's here. Walks around looking for him. She goes to the bed. He's not on the bed. Honestly, when she was walking in the house, I was like, okay, if he's not already sitting on the couch, because he knows she's on his way, I was like, yo, I bet you it would not be shocked to me that he's still in, that mindset. He wants to take revenge on her, maybe. He probably messing with that stripper in their bed just to up the ante on her cheating with her ex from, freaking high school. I'm like, why is she in the bed with that stripper? I was wrong. She walked in the bedroom. Like I said, nobody's on the bed. She turned around, and his Best Buy uniform shirt is in the closet. At first, I didn't get the moment. I didn't get that because I'm like, I don't get it. Then I realized there's all his clothes was gone. Because they never showed the closet before, so it didn't dawn on me right away. I was like, Best Buy shirt. Then I was, oh, he packed everything up and left. He left the keys on purpose or whatever. And obviously the shirt is not his, so he left it so she could return the shirt. And Best Buy was where he worked before his job at that moment. I was like, oh man, like he just moved out and was like, he was over it. But I guess that was the final chapter without them actually resolving anything. He was done. And I guess what the next scene is? He is popping that thing, busting that girl's ass in the freaking hotel room. He is butt naked. A girl is butt naked on the bed, and he's just like hard as hell, like getting all his frustrations out, all his disappointments, all his depression. Like oh my, sweating. Oof. The melanin that was in that hotel room. It's all brown sugar love. Her butt was big, but her head was down, face down, ass up. And at first, I thought it was the stripper girl, but when he pulled her hair, he was pulling her hair. Now you know. Not to spill too many secrets, but he was pulling her hair. And it was the bait girl, the bait whore that we're all talking about, always pushing up on him or whatever, and he's been trying to be faithful, whatever. It was her. He was ripping her up, like busting her ass. I was like, okay, that makes sense, because why would it be the stripper girl? He's not going to pay her when he could just go to the girl that actually has a crush on him and been trying to get with him. He was busting her ass. Oh my God. Like it was like every single thing he's wanted to say to Issa, every single emotion he had when he found out she cheated on him, he just took it out on her. Now, there's no relationship after that. Obviously, there's no relationship. That's just revenge fuck, and then that's it. Oh my God. I went from doing this for like 2 to 3 minutes to now crying because, now Issa was outside on their couch. I can't believe their couch is still there. Like, they took the couch out since, like, what, the first episode? And it was never picked up yet? It's crazy. Literally, I think from, like, the first or second episode, that couch was out there. But she was sitting there, her best friend's next to her. They had a bottle of wine, and she just, like, because she was over. He moved out. It's over. It's over. It was over. Now, I don't know if this is the season finale. I don't know. I guess I gotta Google and find out to make sure Twitter doesn't trick me again. I don't know if this is the last season or if it's gonna keep it going, but I'm already predicting Molly to be pregnant by that dude because there was no condom. Okay, unless she follows her ovulation, but obviously not gonna go into that much detail in the show. Okay, Lawrence is not gonna get with the other girl. She might want a relationship, but it was revenge sex, and he was in a vulnerable state, so they're not gonna be together. Molly, I really want Jared to come back. I really think Jared should come back and they should work it out and find a resolution somehow. But hopefully she finds love. Hopefully. All right, guys. That's my recap review. You don't have to subscribe. Doesn't matter. I just like vlogging about this show. Leave your comments below. Twitter, Team Juju365. Instagram, Team Juju365. Twonomics. You can follow my poetry on WordPress.com. But right now, au revoir. Peace.